Morning, everybody. Welcome to Jane Talks. This past weekend was Canal Days here in Port Colborne, and it's always a really busy time. Traffic is busy, lots of people, and lots of fun things to do. Sunday night's fireworks display is always just amazing. I love fireworks. I always have, and they were no disappointment for sure. They were really great this year too. Anyway, I hope everybody has enjoyed their long weekend. Kind of following along the trend of what I was talking about the last several weeks about goal setting and having things to reach for and knowing that you do have a choice and that you have control over your life. It kind of drew me backwards a little bit, I guess, to think of why do we do that? Why is that important? Why is that such a big necessity? And I feel like one of the biggest reasons is because we live our lives and we get stuck in ruts. Life becomes acceptable, life becomes what it is, and we just stop fighting. We just stop looking for more. We just stop growing, learning. And I feel like I know that I've mentioned several times about that I didn't realize the effect positivity had on my life. And I think that when you surround yourself with positivity, it does. I've heard a lot of comments that it changes your thinking. I don't think it actually does change your thinking. I think it just makes you think. And I think that's something that's one of the biggest flaws that happen to us as we grow up and mature and take on the responsibilities of life. We just stop thinking. And that's why we become dissatisfied. That's why we make choices that we wouldn't normally make. And I think what's really interesting to me is I know I've said a lot of times to my friends, they'll say, "Oh, you're doing great." And I look at myself and I think, "You know what? I'm not. I'm not doing great." But they don't see inside. They don't see what's going on inside my head. But I think what's really neat, I had kind of a down time this past week. I was struggling. Like I just couldn't, I felt lonely and I depressed, down, I guess. And I think it's really interesting how when you focus on that, it continues to bring you down. Because you don't arrest yourself and challenge your thinking and push past your limiting beliefs. And what was really neat, my daughter and I ended up going for a drive and we were just chatting. And I said to her, I said, "Do you ever feel like you just don't belong? You just don't know where you fit in? Like you feel like you should be with people your age, but your interests lie somewhere where theirs aren't. Um, and you just have different circumstances." I know a lot of the friends that I went to school with and grew up with, if they've married and have children, they're young. Whereas mine are like adults. Mine are in their 20s. And I had my children really young. So I'm not at the same stage that they are. Um, One day I ended up walking around Canal Days alone. And I think that really hit me. Like I just felt like, wow, like this is a venue that's meant to be enjoyed as a family or as with friends, significant others. It's meant to be shared. And it just so happens that most of my friends had plans this weekend, and so it just didn't work out for us to hang out. And so when I came back from Canal Days, I ended up going for a ride on my bike, and I laugh because the bike ride was wonderful, but I got stung by bees. So, I don't know, somehow the bee must have got in my jacket and my shirt wasn't tight against me. So I think the bee flew down and it got stuck in the side of my bra. So I dug it out and then it was still alive, so it stung all down my side. And then on the other side, after I stopped for a coffee and got the bee remnants out of my shirt, I stopped. Well, I didn't have coffee. I actually had a bottle of water. But anyway, I took off on my ride again, and another bee flew in this side and stung my shoulder. And oh, that hurt so bad. I pulled off to the side of the road, and when I took my coat off, the stinger was still in my back. And it was awful. It really, really, I almost cried. It hurt so bad. Anyway, I digress. That's really not important. Getting back to positivity and the importance of it. For me, I think that reading positive, making sure that I read every day positive things, and making sure that I associate with positive people, and all those kind of things. Like it's not that I pick my friends, but it almost seems like you are drawn to the people that you think alike, that you get along with. And when you invest your time in that and care about them and they care about you, it's fulfilling. It's a great experience. And as I said before, reading positivity makes you think yourself. And I think that's what helps you then to grow and learn. So one thing that I read recently was, and I can't find where I found it anymore. I've done so much reading. I can't find, but I think it was called 555. And they had a catchy little title, but I can't remember it. Maybe I can think up something for you later. But what it was is, list for yourself 5 of your closest friends, 5 of your biggest goals, and 5 of your, I think they said talents, 5 of your greatest talents. I believe that's what it was. So I found it interesting. When I first started that, I thought to myself, oh my goodness, I don't have 5 friends. And, you look at your Facebook and you see you have 700 and whatever, a whole bunch of friends, but like, they're acquaintances. They're not necessarily people that you would confide in when something goes wrong. And I thought it was really interesting how even that small little 555 process made me think, made me use my brain. And I realized that, you know what? I've got some great people in my life. I do have 5 people, at least 5 people, that if I was in trouble, either emotionally, personally, physically, whatever, I would talk to them, definitely. And because I have, and they've helped me. And I think it's a great experience when you think about stuff like that and you realize, you know what? I actually do know what I want. When I wrote down my 5 goals, I was amazed how quickly that came to me, what I wanted. And when I looked at them, I realized, you know what? Most of these goals are in my control. I can do this. And it was satisfying. And I'm glad that I did that. So try it this week. Try doing the 555. And I just put it in the notes in my phone so that I can look at it and just be reminded if I do feel kind of yucky. Anyway, have a great week, and good luck. Good luck in the coming week in whatever you do and whatever you put your mind to.